Alicia. Alicia is actually our placement manager, and we are both standing in a very sweltering hot barn at the fairgrounds called Antelope Valley. This is the evacuation site for the animals from the sand fire. So this is where all our animals are. That is some of our animals. So you can see some of them. We're actually, it's really, really hot here. It's very dry, very hot. That's probably why there's fire all the time. And unfortunately, this is not the most, the air is kind of down right now, so we're doing a lot of stuff with the animals to make sure they stay nice and cool. Alicia actually ran the whole operation to get all the animals here, which is really, really important and a very difficult thing to do. We'll go through that when we're talking about the different animals. But basically what you have to do is load up all of the animals from the farm and bring them to what is considered the evacuation site, so you're far enough away from the danger of the fire, and it's a place where you can house them. Clearly we don't like these little pens ourselves. They're very, very industrial looking, but this is a fairground, and this is actually considered a hog farm, like a hog barn for showing pigs. It's called the swine barn or the hog barn. Yeah, so I'm having Alicia stay here because she's going to answer all the questions about the actual, rescue as it happens. So if you guys have questions, please let us know. We can also explain why we evacuated and, for what reason they ask for people to evacuate. Just like they ask people to evacuate their homes, it's for the safety of the animals in our care. Okay.
Ginny Collins is asking, is everything okay? And I think just to kind of reiterate
yes.
why we're here.
Jenny, it's okay. We actually got the order that we could go back, but we're not going back yet because part of the problem is the air quality there is still really bad. We worry about smoke. We worry about the fire switching because for the last all the days so far, they only had 10% containment. They now have 25% containment. Yeah, so it's not contained enough for us to feel comfortable to go back because to load up animals, especially large animals, the cattle we'll go see in a little while, and the horses, and even the llama and the donkeys, the larger animals are very difficult to load and it's very stressful for them to transport. So we don't want to go there, have the winds change, and bring them back. So for the safety of our animals, we're staying here for a couple more days just to ride out to see what's happening.
That's right. And there's a question, were we able to get all the animals out?
Yeah, everyone. No animal left behind at Farm Sanctuary, not one.
And are the animals in distress?
Okay, the animals, some of them are. It's really, at first, some of them are very distressed. You have to remember that these animals don't transport well. They don't enjoy going on a car ride. They don't like being loaded in a trailer.
Transporting at least, so that's not ideal conditions to transport anyway. So
yeah, it's the heat. But the other distress is you have to remember one of the most stressful barns is the barn where the horses are. So when horses are meeting horses they've never met, they're all stressed out. They're fighting, they're kicking, they were kicking in the gates, and so we have all these animals that are really at a high stress level, and you're trying to get them comfortable, and they're in small paddocks, they're not used to that. So yeah, it isn't ideal, but it's a lot better than being at a fire. So that's why you do evacuation. And this is actually a very nice place for an evacuation because they are set up for such a large number of animals, especially large animals.
And then there's some questions right now about how they can donate.
Okay, so right now, what you're going to see is there's a lot of hay and feed, and you can look in the back and see there's hay, feed, straw, bedding. All of those things have actually been donated by companies and by local feed stores and hay distributors, and they're actually doing a lot of donations. So what for donating, we really ask people to donate to our emergency rescue fund because that covers everything. It covers when we go on a rescue, because it does cost money. But right now, this one is not actually, it's more stress than money. This one's going to be a much more stressful rescue. It's not as much, it's not a rescue, it's an actual evacuation. So we really like it when people donate to the emergency rescue fund because that covers all of our rescues, it covers all of our evacuations, instead of just donating to one specifically. I hope that makes sense.
And Carol just asked to follow up on that. Can we donate online? And
of
yes.
Course. Yes, Carol, you can definitely, and thank you so much because we can't do any of this, we can't do any of this without our members. So a really good example is we had a member that just donated a truck. We have members that donated the ramps that are on our trailers. We've had members donate our trailers. We've had members donate all of our transport equipment. And without that, these animals couldn't have gotten here. It would have been impossible, even with all the help that we got, to really get them here as quickly as we needed to get them.
Should also do a shout out for Sean Monson, the producer of Earthlings and Unity, who donated hay.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, and Sean donated hay. A lot of people did get a few donations like that, and a lot of people have donated their time. We had a whole group of people come in and clean all the pens this morning and donated their time to like clean everything out. We've had people that were staying on site. Who else? There's a lot of
We had a lot of people on site the day of, so we had a lot of our long-time dedicated volunteers who always come to the sanctuary, and also just people who learned that we were in distress, and local people come in with trailers and just helping with bodies to help us get the animals on. So it was pretty amazing actually the way everyone came together in terms of volunteers and
Yeah, so if we forget to say somebody specifically, it's not that we don't love you. We're just really tired and hot.
And we have Gretchen Cooper, who says that she's really glad she's a member, that she loves the farm in Acton and hopes that fire doesn't destroy it.
Yeah, no, we feel exactly the same way. Thank you so much. Yeah, so if you want, we can walk around and see some of our children. So in each pen, you'll see that no one's really as super comfortable as they are when they're at the farm, because it's very, very hot here. Those are swamp coolers that are up, and they're giant swamp coolers, but the problem is the swamp coolers are not all functioning. They've been repairing them every day while we're here.
multiple times a day.
Yep, so we're doing ice packing and fluids. We actually just had to give fluids to one of the pigs who was overheated, and she's absolutely fine now. So we're making sure that nobody gets overheated and nobody gets sick while they're here. Because, there's Maria. Maria! Your people are here. So Maria, you can see her cute little old face and her lack of teeth. She's so old and cute. So Maria's weathering, and if you look down, Freddie's actually sleeping on Sophie because it's hot and it feels good to have your head on your friend. So what we did too is, because they're all in small pens, we split up the animals according to who they're the most comfortable with, who they hang out with normally. So, we don't want anybody to be stressed. Like, we're trying to avoid any stress that we can, even though this is stressful. This isn't their home, so. Mary, stomp at them. She really doesn't do that. Yeah, this is Snuggles, and Snuggles doesn't love us. Snuggles is very shy, and what she just did was stomp, and stomping is like a warning from a sheep. That's not really all that threatening, but it is effective sometimes. And so we can go around here too. We'll go around and look. This is all donated, and again, thank you, Sean, for donating straw. We've been using the straw. The straw gets used constantly, as you can see. And this hay was just brought in by one of the companies that donated hay. We're going to go down here. Hello. Okay, so as you can see, all of the sheep have their hay. They have fresh water. We clean out their bedding every day, just like we would do if they were at home. There's Bear. Everyone knows Bear.
Do you want to talk about the spray paint?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and just so you know, we had to mark everyone. Because fires, a lot of these fires, this place is not secure at night. When you have hundreds and hundreds of animals at a fairground, you always have to worry about security. And they are good here. Yeah.
They are really great. We just, when we are on the property, we want to make sure as everyone's going off that we're getting everyone marked without that. And then the sheep actually, and
security reasons, as we were saying. We have people here for security, but this barn isn't as manned. Most of the animal control officers and police and stuff are in the other barn, the large barn where the horses are. So we're having people sleep here overnight. And then when they were moving, in both barns, yes, where people are sleeping here and staying up all night watching the animals and making sure everybody's good and no one's overheating still, although it cools down here, it's the desert. And then you can see that Alicia and crew marked everybody with bands on their legs, but also the FS, because there are situations where animals are stolen during these kind of rescue operations when they're evacuating animals, because there is just so much chaos when there's thousands of animals coming through these facilities. So you can also see that the animal control officers have gone through, and there's paperwork for every single animal, and each of them has a number corresponding to their paperwork. So no animal gets lost in the shuffle, but just to be on the safe side, Farm Sanctuary is here all the time. So we're here 24/7. So yeah, it's been great.
And just to clarify, the shelter itself is fine.
The shelter right now is absolutely fine. The biggest issue is going to be air quality. Air quality for these animals is very, very, very serious. You don't want to get pneumonia. I wish you could have seen this one. So Alicia, my dad, and everybody that had, and all the staff that were in that fire trying to evacuate, everybody's eyes were blood red and they were like dripping water out because they were so exposed to smoke. So we don't want to bring them back if there's like tons of smoke around or ash. Like they're actually better off here as much as it's not as cool as we would like it. And you can watch Sophie's going to get a bath, I think, in a minute.
And Katie Watson actually just asked if she could see the pigs.
Oh,
so right on.
Sophie getting a shower.
So Katie, here's the pigs.
Yeah, so Sophie already overheated a little bit today, and because of that, she was a little dehydrated, so she had to get fluids. And the fluids actually on a pig, and I hope this isn't too inappropriate, but they have to have rectal fluids, and so what it does is it actually cools them down. So because pigs have a tendency to overheat, and we will constantly be cleaning up after them because they also have a tendency to spill their water, and we have a tendency to pour water on them. So say hi, Sophie. Sophie!
Sophie.
Look at that tongue. And her tongue's always out. She's not panting. She just sticks her tongue out at everyone. Normally, it's muddy. Say hi, Jess. That's Jessica Dib. Hi.
Katie says hi, Sophie.
Okay, so Calvin. Oh, here, Paul Harvey's in here. Vince is in here. Come on. Come up and say hi to everybody.
Hi, guys.
He's like, hey. So you can see everybody's just kind of chilling out because it's really boring here at the fairgrounds. There's not a lot going on. These are animals that are used to being outside and being active and having a good time. So they don't have a lot of space in here. So they're just kind of relaxing and hanging out. Hello, cutie. So this is Nina and Kelly. You've had stories about them.
And Cinder.
Oh, and Cinder. Yeah, she had her story. Yeah. And Cinder looks really, really, really tired and hot. And then this is mom and daughter. This is Claire and Erica. And again, you put the animals with their people because the less stress that they're under, the better. And if anybody's curious, because I'm sure this question will be asked, all that red that's on her horns is because she's butting these things when she's trying to fight with Cinder. So she's rubbing the paint from this on her horns. Sorry, fairgrounds. Very, very sorry. Okay, so we can keep going. Most of the animals that you see all the rest of the place are not our animals. These are animals that were pulled from other farms. Most of these animals are animals that will go into the food industry. So they are evacuated, but it's very different. These three animals, we don't know who the owner is, and there's really big hope, so everybody should say a prayer that we get them. But they're very underweight and very cute, but they were evacuated, and again, not really with a family, so just an evacuation. There were a couple donkeys that were found roaming by themselves that were evacuated.
They want to see the pigs again.
Yes, we're going to we'll never let you down. The pigs are tired, but really loving the fact that they are able to stay right by them. Nice, right there.
Jimmy.
This is Jimmy.
Jimmy.
He's not waking up for anybody, but Sophie is happy.
Sophie.
Sophie is very sweet, and see, she always had her tongue out. It's always got something on it. It's very red, that tongue. She's been drinking Gatorade a lot.
Hi, Sophie.
And watermelon. There's lots of watermelon in the pen. So they're getting like this. It's actually like a little summer camp. They're getting lots of fruit, lots of cool fruit, lots of Gatorade. So it's like they're at camp they didn't choose to go to, just like most camp. And so they're having a really good time, although not really. I'm sure they want to be home. And we're hoping to be able to go home in the next couple days. Again, we're just kind of waiting out to see what happens with the fire. Good girl. Okay, so then we can see Jumper.
Jumper.
Who is so hot she doesn't even want to eat the rest of her watermelon.
Jumps.
Aw, Jumper. And Dopey over there got in the news, so Dopey's now famous. And Dopey had the hardest time because he does have arthritis, and it's hard for a very large pig like Dopey in the heat anyway. But then to be transported, and he already has health issues, was very stressful for everybody, especially Dopey.
Yeah. Someone just asked about Mo, who's actually right over there.
Yeah, Mo's
Oh, let's go look at Mo.
Laura Perry asked, is Mo there?
Let's go see Mo.
here.
Mo's with Bear. Bear and Mo are hanging together.
Mo likes the young lady.
So you can see this is Mo, and Mo is right in the location where the Wi-Fi gives out. So you can see that Mo is okay, chewing his cud, relaxing with his farm sanctuary logo. And again, he's a little hot, but he's doing pretty well. And he's going to eat a banana because why would you not want to eat a banana when you're being evacuated? Oh,
There.
And I think Maria wants it too. I'm just guessing.
Maria always gets my banana peels in the morning.
Yeah.
So.
Maria's expecting banana peels
Yep.
and not very happy about. Oh, there's Mo eating a banana.
And for those of you who just joined us,
Yes. For those of you who just joined us, we are in at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds, and this is the evacuation site for the sand fire. And we're just saying hi to all of our animals. We're actually going to go a couple barns down, and hopefully we won't lose you then. And we'll go see the cattle, and we'll go see our beautiful donkeys, and of course we'll go see Yoda, which I think everybody wants to know about Yoda. So we're going to start walking, and then you can actually see some of the fairgrounds too, and see how incredibly hot it is outside when you watch us pass out as we're walking. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, it's very bright out here. Very bright. Very, very bright. They kind of keep the shade tarps up so that the inside doesn't get too hot. And this is the fairground. Yeah. And these are the big swamp coolers. If you're from the East Coast, you don't know what they are probably. These are evaporative coolers. They work in areas that are this dry. They actually have this like filter system that gets water on it, and then the water evaporates and cools the air. So they're the giant evaporative coolers, and something that we don't use on the East Coast, but we do use on the West Coast. We have them at all our farms. And you can see on that blue thing, those are the filters that they put in. So you can learn a little bit about evaporation cooling while you're here, which is a good thing to know. And you can see, like, just from looking, it's not, yesterday you couldn't see at all. Like, it was very, like the smoke had turned this direction. We all felt really sick by it because it kind of wears you out because you're just breathing in the smoke here. But the fire, again, you can see how windy it is. The fire keeps shifting because of the wind. Yeah.
So-
The Santa Ana wind. They aren't, see? I'm not from California. I'm not from California.
I shouldn't say that. I know they are not typically Santa Ana winds are later in the year, but
so for Mary, who asked, she missed it, what happened, I guess could we recap for why we're here doing this right
You
now?
recap it.
Yeah.
we evacuated on Sunday all of our animals from the Acton shelter. So
In Southern California.
in Southern California because of the sand fire, which as of this morning had burned 37,000 acres. And Sunday, Acton, which is where the shelter is located in Southern California, was on high alert. And at a press conference at 11 a.m., the fire department announced that for any area on high alert, that means that large animals should get out then and not wait for an evacuation order, because by the time we wait for an evacuation order, the fire department has to be right there. And if they have to be right there, they're not going to let trailers back in to come get the large animals. And evacuation for us on Sunday took approximately 8.5 hours. So we need a lot of head time to get all of these animals out. These guys took quite a while.
So Saffron is saying hi to everybody. Saffron.
Hi, Sammy.
Hi. So this is Saffron, of course. Everyone knows Saffron if you've ever been to the farm. We had a couple of these guys that were actually very difficult to load. Yeah, Saffron really loves to like suck face. Literally. So Saffron, he's a nice boy. He didn't load too hard. But we had a really hard time getting Pinto and this guy, Harry, onto the trailer. Sometimes cattle are very difficult to get on, especially if they're panicked. And they do often panic. And the smell of smoke does not help. So it's very, very stressful to transport this group.
And Mike asked, is it true that we're helping take care of other people's animals that have been left behind?
We did, Mike. So there were, when we got in, there were a bunch of birds in cages that had not been let out. So we did take care of them. We had to pull them all out. We set up pens for them and like tubs for the ducks and fed and watered everybody, and they look much better already. But I think what happens too is a lot of the animals that come in here, like I had said before, some of them were dropped off and they don't even have owners or homes, or so they don't know where they're from. Some people that had cattle actually let them loose, and they were allowed to fend for themselves because they didn't want to have to deal with bringing them. So it is a very different. These aren't all sanctuary animals, and the concern always is that people are taking care of them. So we have been. We've been taking care of some pigs. give them a lot of water, some watermelon, anything we can do. Because yeah, we want all animals to feel some kind of love and connection when they're frightened, and this is very frightening for everyone. There's a horse taking a bath.
Leslie Vanessa says we have smoke all the way from the sand fire in Vegas right now.
Seriously, you have smoke all the way where?
In Vegas.
Wow. Sorry.
Yeah. And we are, to answer Julio's question, we are in California.
Yes. We are in Southern California, between Lancaster and Palmdale, California, which is outside of Los Angeles. There's a lovely animal control officer.
We're live.
She's like, oh God, help us all.
Let's see. And to recap, this is the sand fire in Southern California, and we are live at the evacuation site.
Which is the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds, and all of our animals, except for our birds, we relocated our birds and our horses elsewhere. There were a lot of horses here too, and I don't think our horses would have done well here. Sam's very edgy, and there's a lot of horses that are very, like, they get very excited because there's so many new other, horses that they don't know. Our donkeys don't seem to care. Hello.
Honky donkey.
Honky tonk. He hasn't gotten his head off the ground. Oh look, Saffron's trying desperately to get everyone's attention still. What is this?
So how many volunteers did it take for us to evacuate?
Alicia would know that, but she's talking.
How many volunteers did we require for the evacuation?
How many we had was, honestly, I don't know how many were on site. To be completely honest, it was a really crazy and chaotic day. So, probably 25 to 35 volunteers, I would say, on site from the beginning to the end and kind of rotating throughout that 8.5 hours.
Okay.
And you can see the wild burros back there. One of them is not like the others. That's like that song from Sesame Street. One of these donkeys is not like the others.
And then there's a question as to, were these fairgrounds donated for our use?
Yes.
The fairgrounds are open, so the mandatory evacuation sites start, they're mini for large animals, and they are being manned by the LA County Animal Services, so they're free to everyone who has large animals to come in. And when we first contacted, they opened on Sunday, there was an evacuation site at one of the local community colleges, and that's first where we thought we were going. By the time we had trailers loaded with animals, that evacuation site had already closed, and this site had just opened, so we were one of the first to have animals on the site, and our first animals on the site were the pigs, the Mickey's and the goats, and Yoda, and then the cattle and donkeys came last. So at first, when we told them we had 8 cattle coming, they had set up this pen for our cattle, where our donkeys currently are, and not understanding that our rescued guys are all mature adults who are much bigger than the cattle who usually come in this barn.
Saffron. He's like, clean my nose.
And Magnus and some other people are asking, because we do have, this is actually going to everybody who's
Yes.
watching, asked again, what exactly is a sand fire?
Okay, the sand fire is just the name of the fire that's occurring right now. That's taken up in Southern California's 37,000 acres are burning. So there's been human evacuation, animal evacuation in certain locations, and because of the fire, we just relocated our animals to an evacuation site, which is the Antelope Valley Fairground between Lancaster and Palmdale. We're in that area. If anybody knows California, that is Saffron. He doesn't seem to be skipping a beat on his regular life. He's just still very social. And what you're going to see too is there's a lot of horses here. There's a lot of horses, and they're very high stress right now. They get very stressed. This one looks like it's going to be getting a bath and going to the bathroom simultaneously. So a lot of the people that are here brought horses, and the horses are very wired right now. So you'll hear a lot of horse sounds in the background, but the horses get very worked up when they see another horse moving someplace. So they seem very stressed. So that's why our horses went to private areas because they do get very stressed when they're brought into a group of horses this large.
Yeah, our horses are all safe. So we have 4 horses at the Southern California shelter, and they're split. They live separately in groups of 2, and those 2 groups are at 2 different private homes. So both being cared for by us also. In the morning and in the evening, we're checking on them and giving them all their meds and feeding them. So they're all safe and happy.
This is our sleeping bag that we sleep in, and Saffron wants to help unroll it. Saffron likes to unroll the sleeping bag at night.
And where are you sleeping with your sleeping bag?
On the ground. This beautiful, this is the bedroom. The bedroom's here. That's the living room. Oh, actually, that's the kitchen. The bananas are on the table. And Saffron's in the cow room. And they are very wired. When they first got here, they were pretty upset, but now they've seemed to calm way, way, way down. Right, Savvy? And you can see Ed over there. He's our herd leader. Thankfully, he's in a really, really good mood because he can be very stressed. Ed's really awesome. And when the herd leader's calm, everybody else kind of follows suit. So we're very happy that he stayed nice and mellow during this trip.
And once again, we are here live at the evacuation site from the sand fire incident. We have evacuated from our Southern California shelter in Acton, California. And we have a temporary location here at the Antelope Valley Fairgrounds. And there's a couple questions as to how yes, the sanctuary is okay, Leslie.
Yes, Leslie, the sanctuary right now is okay. We actually have people going there today to check everything out, make sure the air quality is getting better and improving, and really taking looking around and seeing really how close the fire is. Because if you're looking at the map, the fire actually looks like it's getting closer, but they're containing it more. So we're really just kind of checking everything out right now.
A few people are asking if they can, if they can, yeah.
You're ridiculous.
Hi there.
He's like, attention to me. Only to me.
Yeah,
I know.
that is Saffron.
Saffron's like, I'm the only person here.
And yes, people can sponsor animals.
Oh, yes. And if you just go on our website, under... my hand! Just kidding. That was a joke. My hand's still.
We do have the Adopt a Farm Animal program, and
Yes.
you can
and
find
this
it.
one's on that program.
Yes,
One about
Sappy.
Saffron, he is in the program. Right, Sappy? He doesn't care now. Clearly, he's not good at this. Saffron, people are asking questions.
Okay.
Oh, and let's walk over and see Yoda. 'Cause I know
Yeah, let's
people
see Yoda.
We've gotten a lot of questions about Yoda, so we're going to go, and you're going to get to see all the different horses that are here. These are not ours. No, not our horses. Again, horses getting back. This is all
All of the food and water that's been donated for volunteers.
Yeah, these are all donations. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We have donations for all the volunteers.
This horse
water.
is trying to untie his tie. Watch. This is our most recent bathing person. But they're really good at untying their ties and also at opening these gates. Yeah.
Not farm sanctuary horses.
Yeah, we don't have, our horses are not here. You can see our cattle again on this side. So you can get more of a glimpse of William the Noodle. Pinto's there. You see Bruno, Manolito, of course, Mr. Ed, Paulo, Harry. Saffron laid down because he wasn't getting attention. He's desperate now. He's really upset at everyone because we left. Aww. I know, he's like, no one cares.
And we also painted FS on them to the extent that we could. So,
And we had to do that.
in order to make sure that they were identified at the fairground, we have someone here 24/7 with them, but we just want to make extra sure that our animals are identified as ours. And we also have all of their intake photos and our animal photos that gives our animal record book so we can identify them as ours in many different ways. But duplicity and redundancy is good in this instance. So.
So you can see something, lots of cute things too as well. There's a little baby. So this mom came in with her child. So there's a little foal here who's very, very sweet. You're very sweet. And I'm sure this is extremely stressful for the mother. She seems like she's mellowed out, but she looked really wired when she first came. Yeah. Is it scary to have your baby here? And again, we're going through all the horse areas. I know, you were going crazy.
Anita Fabian, who is a Legacy member and a monthly sponsor, says hi. She can't
Hi.
wait to visit.
Thank you. You'll love it here, except it's hot.
Not always hot.
Okay. I'm exaggerating.
In summer it's hot.
So Yoda's down here with all the other, like, I'm not really a horse animals. And he's very upset at everybody.
Yoda usually lives with the goats and sheep, but the stalls are too small and he can get out of them if he was in them. So.
Yeah, so they made him go in here. So his stress level is probably one of the higher ones.
I agree.
Yeah, and he's tattooed now. He's really probably not happy about that because he's pretty much controls his own destiny all the time. So this is Yoda, of course. And Yoda is the amazing, beautiful llama who loves treats and is going to get to eat a banana or a peel.
And just to be clear, he doesn't usually have FS on his side.
No, we actually don't brand our animals. We're not doing any branding.
He usually doesn't wear a raspberry halter all the time.
No, this is mortifying, really. Yeah, I don't think he's happy. And you can see, like, there's donkeys that are here. There's miniature horses. There's an alpaca. This donkey's really nice, by the way. We really like him. I don't know who he belongs to, but he's cute, right?
And just like all the goats and sheep, these guys have individual numbers from the LA County. We have to check all of our animals in, and then when we leave, we're going to have to check every single one of them out. So they'll check our paperwork and make sure that we're the right people taking them. So there's a lot of process in place to make sure that we get our animals, and no one else does.
Yeah, if somebody came in right now and said, that's my horse, they would check them out. So that you would be checking out your animal, and you'd have to have the proper paperwork and proof that this is who you say you are and your animal.
Do we have any sense of the timeline right now? There's a couple of questions about, Anne has asked, how long do you think we'll have to stay here?
We are, again, I think I said it earlier in the thing, but we're kind of waiting because the winds keep shifting. So, like, a couple days ago, we didn't think we were going to have to evacuate at all, and all of a sudden the wind shifted and it started bringing the fire towards the sanctuary. So they have given us the okay to go, but because it can take us hours, like hours and hours, and it's high stress for the animals, we don't want to go all the way back to Acton and then have to come all the way back out here. Right. Yeah, it's very unhealthy. If you don't know, large animals, especially cattle, the sheep and the goats, they get something that's called shipping fever. And horses might get it too, I'm not sure. I'm not a horse person. Any horse people out there, I'm really sorry. But cattle, sheep and goats get what's called shipping fever. It's a very high stress level. Their immune system drops. They get pneumonias. So this is a hard thing to do. Unless you absolutely have to, we would not evacuate, but we did. So we don't want to go too fast.
Yeah.
Liz asks, do you think you'll be going home with more than you left with?
Liz, that's a really good question. I'm trying. Liz, I've been trying. No, we've all been trying. There's some sheep that we really fell in love with that don't seem to have a home, and they're really malnourished. So we have talked to animal control about getting custody of them. Any animal that's in distress that comes in. The beauty about this place is when they evacuate, and they have to evacuate, animal control is here. So if they see problems, they're going to question it. And if they have animals with no owner, of course, they come here as well. And if nobody claims those sheep, we're going to be looking for homes for them after we get them fat. They're too skinny. So yes, we may come home with a few extras.
Hopefully.
Yes, that's the dream.
Yeah.
And Betty is asking if we brought all the animals here, I guess to recap.
Okay, to recap, no. The horses we did not bring here because of the stress level.
Right.
Our horses are extremely stressy. We actually had a gentler come in that handles our horses now because the horses that we have at the farm, 2 of them are just really high stress. So he actually came and got them and took them to his farm. No, he took Sam to his farm.
No.
So he took, okay, go ahead. She's going to tell you.
Two of them are on one private property. Our gentler was there for all of the transport.
Right.
Two are at his house. Joanne and Zoe are at his home, and Sam and Darla are at another private home. But he handled the transport for all of them and was with us the entire time. Yeah.
And you can see behind you, horses in stress times are not, they get very panicked and they fight. And this whole group has been fighting like crazy, and they had to have some of them pulled out. So this would have been very stressful for our horses, who are very emotional. Oh, and the birds.
And the birds are all at a private home, living indoors with air conditioning. That kind of works. It's definitely cooler than it is here. So, and they have a lot of fans on, and we have them separated out into 5 or 6 different rooms, and we have a caretaker staying with them full time. So we're staffing that area full time. We're then feeding our horses and giving our horses meds in the AM and PM, and then we're staffed here 24/7. So,
and that is another reason too, that we didn't split up our animals, because
Right.
we had a lot of offers to, like, we'll take two of your horses, or we'll take your cows, or we'll take this group. We have to, because most of these, there's somebody in every group that's on some kind of like treatment. So some are on pain management, some are on other meds, some are being treated for different like conditions. So we really don't want to have to put a caregiver, because we don't have that kind of a staff. We want a caregiver to be wherever the animals are. So it is actually easier for us to deal with all of them in one location and have it be a location where our staff can actually be with them around the clock. But if you did try to donate land for us to use, thank you very much. That is awesome.
It was very much appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. A lot of it was happening in the moment. And yeah, just having most of them consolidated in one place is really just makes it so much simpler for just our well-being and staffing. Yep.
So we want to talk about, was there anything that I guess you want to just mention about the rescue itself, the evacuation itself, and just, you know, any of the challenges that you want to just kind of talk about?
The whole evacuation was
Yeah.
challenging, and also was amazing and awesome. I think that the thing is, whatever happened throughout the day, we got all of the animals and all of the people off the property safely, and that's really all that matters. So some of it was seat of your pants, and some of it was fly by night, and some of it was very much more organized and thought out. But we had the birds off the property, every single one of the birds, and our 2 cat residents off the property within an hour of knowing that we were going to evacuate. And the pigs loaded really easily. It was really amazing team effort. The effort was extraordinary. Every single staff person put in 100% and stuck it out through the end. Every single volunteer who was there was amazing and extraordinary. And the people who came with their trailers and brought our animals to the fairgrounds was just unimaginably kind, really. I mean, really so generous and so kind, and stuck it out with us. And the cattle and donkeys weren't easy to load, so especially the cattle, I would say. Actually, the donkeys loaded pretty easily. So the gentleman who came and helped with them was phenomenal and life-saving, and really, life-saving. I don't know what else to say about him. He's a really great guy. Terry is his name, and he actually has offered to help bring them back when we do that. When we bring them back, it will be much more orderly, and we'll take a lot of trips. So one of the things that I think was actually really challenging was that because of road closures on the 14 freeway, once we left the sanctuary with the trailer, we were not sure if we were going to be able to get the trailer back. And in only one instance, Caleb drove the pigs here and unloaded them, and then drove the trailer back, but he had to take an alternate route, and it was slammed with traffic, so it took him much longer than it normally would, because everyone was doing the same thing as us, because the 14th freeway was closed down. So because of that, we were really looking to get everyone off in one fell swoop, so we couldn't rely on being able to get back in. I mean, there was never a moment where we thought, oh, we can just come and unload and go back. It wasn't leisurely. It will be much more leisurely when we take them back, and much calmer. I can only imagine and hope.
Well, yeah, and I think what we're also going to do, I think anytime you do one of these, like when we do a big rescue or we do an evacuation or we do anything, we're going to go through and sit down and talk about all the things that could go a lot smoother next time.
Yeah.
Because this, we haven't had to evacuate that property, so this was A, not expected and happened really quickly, but B, for happening so quickly, everything came together really, really well. So yeah, we're very happy.
And how can people help from a distance?
From a distance, just having, it's really, actually really nice to have moral support. People are very sweet and very kind, and sending moral support. And again, our donors, we couldn't function if we didn't have donors. We couldn't do anything. I hope this donkey doesn't bite my elbow, by the way. But we couldn't do anything if it wasn't for our membership. And that's moral support, that's volunteerism, that's donations, that's everything. So I think we're very blessed and very lucky to have the people that we have as members, and everything you guys do is amazing. So just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It is true though.
Yeah,
we couldn't do it
absolutely.
without
There's
you.
nothing- yeah.
It seems like we're having some audio problems.
That's impossible with my laptop.
Rose and Gloria, can you still not hear us? I think so. All right, we're going to sign out.
Bye.